Genesis, Behind the Story, Episode 12. Jacob prepares to meet Esau based on Genesis 32, 1-21. Welcome back to Stories by Anna. What if I told you that after 20 years, the moment Jacob feared most had finally arrived? Not Laban, not poverty, not hardship, his brother Esau. The same brother he had deceived, the same brother who once wanted to kill him, the same brother he hadn't seen for 20 years. As Jacob continued his journey home, God gave him an encouraging sign. The Bible tells us that angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is the camp of God." What a comforting reminder. God was still with him. But despite that encouragement, Jacob was nervous, very nervous, because there was one problem standing between him and home: Esau. Jacob decided to send messengers ahead. He instructed them to greet Esau respectfully and explain that he had been living with Laban and had now returned. Jacob hoped the message would soften his brother's heart, but when the messengers returned, they brought shocking news. "We went to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you." Then came the words Jacob never wanted to hear. "And 400 men are with him." 400 men. Imagine hearing that. Jacob immediately became terrified. Was Esau bringing an army? Was he still angry? Was he coming for revenge? The Bible says Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, so he began preparing. First, he divided his people and livestock into two groups. His reasoning was simple. If Esau attacked one camp, the other might escape. Then Jacob did something he should have done years earlier. He prayed. One of the most heartfelt prayers in Genesis. Jacob reminded God of his promises. He acknowledged that he was unworthy of God's kindness, and he pleaded for protection. "Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau." What a powerful prayer. For the first time, we see Jacob depending less on his own schemes and more on God. But Jacob also took practical action. He prepared an enormous gift for Esau, hundreds of animals, goats, sheep, camels, cattle, donkeys, one group after another. Each servant was instructed to tell Esau, "These belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift from my lord Esau." Jacob hoped the gifts would calm his brother's anger. That night the gifts went ahead. The camp settled down, and Jacob was left alone with his thoughts. Would Esau forgive him? Would he survive the meeting? Would 20 years of fear finally come to an end? What happened next would change Jacob forever, because during the night, Jacob would have an encounter unlike anything he had ever experienced: a struggle, a blessing, a new name, and a life-changing encounter with God. We'll discover what happened in Episode 13, Jacob Wrestles with God. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to Stories by Anna. And here's a question for you. Have you ever faced a situation you had been worried about for years? Let me know in the comments below. God bless, and I'll see you in the next story.